Hey everybody, welcome to What's Up Wednesday. Public service announcement. When you're applying for a job or when there's a job posted, don't say I'm interested on social media. It will never get you a job. Now, I know I've covered this topic so many times, and I feel like I'm probably not reaching a lot of the audience that I need to be. So I just need to repetitiously send this message to people that you need to follow instructions when applying for a job. People wonder why they're not being considered or why they don't get phone calls. It's because they can't follow instructions. Now, what I want to say is that employers, they have very few means of evaluating a candidate for a job. We can review a resume, we can call references and past employers, we can do a background check, maybe even some competency testing, but we don't really get to the core of the person we're talking to and considering for hire. So one of the things that we can do on the front end, and whether you're somebody who hires people or you're somebody who is seeking a job, pay attention to this because we utilize a tool to determine whether or not somebody's a fit by determining whether or not they can follow instructions. So here's an example. I'm looking at a job posting on LinkedIn right now, and there's a little bit of information about the job. And then it says, please review the job description carefully. Send an updated resume with 5 to 8 years, 5 years of continued experience and 5 years of 8 hours of safety training with certificates. Basically, it looks like an SSHO role. So 8 years of training, safety training for 5 years straight, and then at least 5 years of experience. For immediate consideration, apply at this link. And there's a link below it. And I see people saying, I'm interested. They're not going to get a phone call. This is a simple exercise the employer is running people through, posting the job on LinkedIn, saying, here's our job, here's a link to apply, submit your resume, here are the qualifications, 5 years of experience in safety, and then 8 hours, at least 8 hours of safety training each year for the last 5 years, documented. So ultimately, I see this nonstop. I'm interested, or consider me, or even somebody just replies with a resume and not even any text to it. It's like, come on, folks, a little bit of professionalism goes a long way. And if you can't follow simple instructions, there's not a chance in the world you're going to get a job. So I know we're in a very fast-paced world, a world of technology, a world where we text because it's easier to communicate than picking up the phone. And when people text, they don't use any punctuation or spelling or grammar. It's just blah, they just vomit out a text. And then they begin to write that way, which I've talked about. So you'll see their reports, and the reports look like they text, which is vomited words that you struggle to read because the sentences aren't broken up and there's no punctuation, there's no grammar, anything. Words are misused and misspelled. I'm just gonna, I'm gonna harp on this probably until the day I retire, but a little bit of professionalism goes a very, very long ways. And it starts with being able to follow very simple instructions. If you're looking for work, then follow the instructions. Make sure that you send a nice body of text. Usually it's not via an email necessarily or a cover letter anymore, but make sure you have a nice little message. You cater or tailor your resume specifically to what they're looking for, and that you provide everything that they're looking for. If you do that, your probability of getting a job goes from 0 to potentially as much as 90%, because other people aren't going to pay attention to what they're asking for. I know when we bid jobs or we bid contracts, many of those, especially public contracts, are very technical. And if you're not very specific in how you reply to their RFP, and if you don't follow the instructions, your proposal gets thrown out. So look at it the same way for job seekers, and or if you're an employer and you're looking at a really good way to screen out people who maybe are disorganized, unprofessional, maybe too casual in how they communicate, send simple instructions. If they can't follow it, out they go. So just something to consider. Again, this is a topic that I've brought up over and over and over again, and I hope it gets to some people out there who can actually use this message. Stop saying I'm available. Stop saying I'm interested. Stop saying hire me. Follow the instructions, go to the link, apply for the job, tailor your resume to the job, and give them exactly what they're looking for. Hopefully that helps. We'll see you next Wednesday.